Hey guys, Steve Ferguson here with Thrive Mortgage. Hope you're having a great day today. I wanted to send this personalized video to you guys because you're either pre-qualified or you've gone through our golden ticket mortgage process and right now you're home shopping. I know the market's a little weird right now, so I want to set expectations for you guys about what this year is going to look like so that way you can make an educated decision for you and your family. Number one, where are rates going to be? Nobody knows. There's no crystal ball that's going to tell us where rates are going to go, but here's what I know that it is going to affect rates in the future. The Fed is going to continue to increase interest rates because inflation is high. Until inflation gets below 4%, I fully expect the Fed to continue to push rates higher and higher and higher. This is important. So if you're looking for updated information on what rates could potentially do, just watch the inflation number. Until that number gets below 4%, you can expect the Fed to increase the cost of rates. Now, just because the Fed increases rates, that does not directly contribute to mortgage interest rates as a whole. It's just the cost of money between bank and bank. However, if the money for this bank costs more to borrow, then that bank has to pass on those costs to you. So it does eventually affect interest rates. Now, historically speaking, and I've been in the business for 23 years, interest rates hover between 6.5% and 7.5%. That's like the average interest rate. So what we had for the last few years where interest rates are in the 2s and 3s and 4s is absolutely extremely unusual. It's never happened in the entire time of interest rates, and I do not expect that to come back ever in my career. What we expect to happen is to rates to stabilize, which means they're going to end up somewhere where they are right now. Could they dip into the 5s? It's possible. We just don't know when that's going to happen or if it's going to happen. We expect this trend to continue to go throughout 2023 at this point in time with a gradual increase in interest rates for the rest of the year. Now, a lot of people are sitting on the fence because they think home prices are going to come down. And I think that will happen in part of the country. However, I do not agree with that in Central Texas, and here's why. There are a lot of jobs coming into Central Texas. There is not enough housing for demand, which is going to keep house prices high. You are seeing some house prices come down. That's because those homes were overpriced in the beginning anyway, and they're dropping their prices to where where the price should be. A year ago, we were having people pay $100,000 over asking price. Well, obviously that inflates prices. Now we're not seeing that. The beautiful thing about buying now is sellers are negotiating and they're paying a ton of money in closing costs. That helps you as the buyer get the best deal. So think about it from this perspective. Would you rather buy a car for $100,000 at a 2% rate or a car for $50,000 at a 7% rate? I hope that you chose the $50,000 car because you can always refinance it anytime you want. That's where we are in mortgages. You're getting a lot more house for the money than you could a year or two ago. It's just the cost of the actual mortgage itself is a little higher, but you can refinance that rate anytime you want. So if by some chance rates come down in the next year or 8 months or whatever happens to be, and you want to pay less money monthly for your home, then we can refinance it for you. But you still bought the home at the best dollar price possible. And that's the most important thing when you're looking at mortgages. Now, really important things to think about too, because you're looking for a home right now, is rent costs. I'm an investor, I'm a landlord, so I pay very close attention to what rent's doing in our market. Right now, rent is increasing 13.5% year over year. What this means is because the demand is so high for renting, because not as many people are buying as should be buying, landlords know they can charge anything they want to for rent. So I can assure you, if you continue to stay in the renting situation that you're in now, the cost of your rent is going to increase. Rent is just shelter. It is just a roof over your head. It is not going to get you to financial stability or success. You are essentially pumping money into somebody else's pocket for that shelter that you're in right now. I also get arguments all the time. It's like, hey, Steve, I haven't found my perfect house. That's okay. There is no perfect house. Wouldn't it be better right now to buy a home that works for you and your family? It may not be the perfect home, right? I can tell you I've bought lots of homes and I've never found my perfect home. But in 2 or 3 years from now, when you're ready to buy your next home, you have an equity position in your home. You have tax benefits because you bought a home that now sets you up for success to step into that new home or that next situation, right? If you would have bought a home 2 years ago instead of rented, how much more money would you have in your pocket right now? Probably $100,000 in a lot of cases. So people make generational wealth by owning real estate. That's my personal opinion. And I've been a renter before. I've owned property before. I can assure you I'm never going to go back to renting because I look at the tax benefits. I look at the appreciation, and you can definitely research this on your own, and you'll find that real estate is a safe bet. It's a great way to generate wealth, and it sets you up for financial stability. I also like being able to paint the walls any color I want. I like to have dogs and animals and my kids to have a yard. Those things are challenging when you're renting. So my personal opinion, right? I'm going to do the normal disclaimer. Hey, this is just my personal opinion. I recommend to buy. I do not recommend renting any longer. There's no real benefit to renting other than just paying more money for shelter because the decision has not been made. It is much better to look on an outlying area. So if you're looking in an area like Round Rock or Georgetown and the homes may not be affordable, move out a little bit. Look at Gerald, look at Elgin, look at all these other places that are available to you. Yes, the commute may be a little bit longer, but I know that I would personally be willing to commute an extra 10 minutes a day to make a bunch of money when I sell my home. So think of these considerations as you're considering whether or not to buy. If you have homes you're interested in, reach out. We're happy to run numbers for you guys and give you an idea where interest rates are. We offer buy downs. There's different ways to buy down your interest rate much lower to make your home a lot more affordable. And then I also posted a video on my YouTube channel about a way to find the least expensive home for your money. So make sure you look at that YouTube video. I've got a link to it right here, by the way, that talks about how to save money when you're buying a home. All right, guys, I appreciate you. Looking forward to working with you guys and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.